So yeah.
for once.
Well, speaking of other movies that came out this month, Tristan kind of mentioned one of them. I believe it's Tristan's favorite Christmas movie, as a matter of fact. Muppet Christmas Carol came out.
Oh yeah.
I actually think it did moderate business, right? It wasn't a huge hit.
Yeah,
it was a bigger hit on home video, if I recall.
Yeah, because it went out pretty much immediately the next Christmas.
It's weird. It's one of those movies where I'm like, you could almost cut out the Muppets, and this movie would be just as good.
Well, that
Just
was
Michael
the brilliance
Caine-
of this.
just
Michael
Caine
Caine's
talking to
amazing
himself.
in Scrooge.
Yeah, he's probably the best character that's been human in any of the Muppet movies. Like you have Tim Curry in the Treasure Island adaptation.
You got Charles
Yeah.
Grodin and
All the
Great
characters.
Muppet Caper.
Right. Yeah, you have a slew of people in those other ones.
But Michael Caine's said in interviews that he's just like, he wasn't going to pretend that he was with the Muppets. Like he was acting as though he was with, the greatest acting troupe of all
Oh, yeah.
time, because the
full
Muppets
human
are, let's
cast.
be honest. But
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
that's the
all-star
joke
cast.
of the Muppets. That's the joke of the Muppets. So you got to treat them as
Like they're real.
Yeah,
Right.
like they're real.
But because of that, like if he had played it as though, if he played it with any less intensity, it wouldn't have worked.
Nope.
Like
You can't play with irony.
no,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
But
why I
it's-
like it so much, because there's
Yeah.
so much heart in Michael Caine that
Yeah.
it's easily my favorite role of
It's-
his, and he had a
Not,
full
all
career
right.
of perfect roles.
not gonna lie, right now, every time you say Michael Caine, I keep
Michael
on
Caine?
thinking because Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine.
Michael
Because
Caine.
Corey does it so well.
I said Michael Caine. Hey, you gotta do the broken voice
Yeah.
when he gets made. Okay, Mr. Wayne.
Why do we
Michael
fall?
Caine.
Thank you. I wanted that.
You're supposed to
Yes.
blow the bloody door.
Mr. Wayne, Michael Caine. Brilliant movie.
No,
Although
none of
that
those
was
are
why
lines
for-
from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Seeing that for years though, I thought that, because that was one of the first Muppet movies I saw as well when I was a
Yep.
kid. So I didn't know that there was just supposed to be one Marley that visits him.
Yeah.
So all this time I was just like, wait, I thought there were two of them. Whenever I
You
saw
know-
later iterations of Christmas Carol.
You get the other joke as part of that, right? That he's
Oh, yeah.
Robert Marley,
it's Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
It's
That's
just-
my favorite scene. They're my favorite characters. It's a perfect song.
Do you think is this your favorite Muppet movie where they're kind of the wraparound?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, there's everything about this is my favorite adaptation of A Christmas Carol, too. I think it's all seated in nostalgia because I saw it in theaters on Christmas that year.
Oh wow.
So this started my run of my parents and I would go to the theater on Christmas. And back then, not a lot of people did. It's often like the thing that Jewish people do because they'll either get Chinese food or go to the movies. It was like, we don't have anything else to do that day and everything else is closed. So except for Chinese restaurants and movie theaters. And so we would go because we loved movies. And I think they took me because it was a kid's movie. And then we kept seeing things every year. So it started a tradition for me unintentionally. But then we'd also watch that every year on the 23rd of December. And so eventually I started having a Christmas party on the 23rd. I meant to have all our friends come over and watch Muppet Christmas Carol with me and my parents. But we ended up just like hanging out and eating food and, in our 20s, not just food, but, that was the tradition that led to, my favorite part of Christmas, the hanging out with all my friends on the 23rd. So,
The
It's
Tristmas party.
yeah. So I've been doing that for almost 20 years already, right?
Wow.
15? No, yeah, it'll be 18 this year.
Yeah, because we were still in high school at the time.
It was my in between freshman and sophomore year. So I think it would have been during my sophomore year, Christmas.
Yeah.
Was the first time I ever did that party. But for the first 12 years, it was watching Muppet Christmas Carol. So,
Nice.
so I've probably watched that 30 times now.
Do you think it's the
Or
movie?
it'll be the 30th time this year or whatever.
Is it the movie you've seen the most?
Jurassic Park for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not Lost World, right?
That probably like a dozen times,
All right, good.
maybe a little more. But
I'll accept.
I mean,
it.
I watch. We did our favorite Christmas movie back in December 1990. But I think I watch Muppet Christmas Carol, White Christmas, and It's a Wonderful Life every year. So I've seen all three of those probably 30
Matter of
times.
fact, it just happened to be on. We were in New Orleans last December.
Yeah, you never saw it
I had never seen it before.
somehow.
I don't know why.
What, Muppet Christmas Carol?
It's a
No,
Wonderful Life.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
I only saw that for the first time last year.
Really?
Yeah, last year, I think.
Oh,
The two
me
of
too.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the two of us.
Weird.
I had somehow escaped and dodged that for years.
Dodged.
Yeah, exactly.
Also a perfect film.
Right.
No, it's not. What are
I
you
liked it.
doing? You're
You
not
like the
watching
moon?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Where's
Oh,
the
I
money, you
felt
crazy old man? I saw a radio play version of that this year.
I
Oh,
tried
yeah?
to kill myself.
That was cool.
What else came out in December 92?
Okay.
Train track.
Well, since you already brought it up, A Few Good Men came out. Probably, I think it was the starting gate for Aaron Sorkin's writing career in film, right? Because he was a playwright before this. This is based on a play,
Mm-hmm.
and debatably, it's his best script or best adaptation, at least. I mean, I know you're a big fan of The West Wing, everything.
Sure.
But in terms of just like condensed, brilliant dialogue and how the narrative just flows and everything, the back and forth between everybody, not only is it perfectly cast, the script is almost perfect, except for one flaw, which is I think they set up the ending in a previous scene. So then you just watch it play out and you're like, well, that's kind of telegraphed a little bit too early.
Wait, which one are you saying?
When I mean everybody's seen the movie, so
Have you guys? You guys have seen A Few Good Men.
I saw the stage show.
okay, so
Oh,
he
cool.
knows it's almost verbatim.
I think I might have seen it in college, like
Okay, good.
for film history. So
The scene before Nicholson takes a stand, he tells Kevin Pollak and Demi Moore exactly what he's going to do and exactly how Nicholson's going to react, and he does exactly that. So I kind of wish
I don't
they
think
had-
it makes it any less powerful, though.
No, it doesn't make it any less powerful. They could have cut that out.
Well, they could have thought, it could have been a bluff on,
Yeah, I think that's
I think they were setting it up to
why
be a
they
bluff.
did it.
I kind of that's the only thing. I just wish they had thrown a curveball where he didn't go for the bait,
Mm,
and they caught him some other way.
yeah.
But since you brought up Kevin Bacon in that movie, he's kind of like Lane Smith in My Cousin Vinny, because he's not demonized for being
They're
a
friends.
prosecuting attorney. He's doing his
Yeah. He's just doing his job.
right.
That's what Jack
just doing my job.
It's got that iconic speech. I mean, that last speech by Nicholson has been parodied and immortalized over the decades.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he got nominated for that, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
It's fantastic in the movie.
I would assume so.
Everybody says Rob Reiner had a great run of like 5 or 6 classics at the beginning of his directing career, and then just kind of ended. This is among the 6.
So,
Toys came out this month, if anybody remembers that.
could have been one of
wait.
our underrated gems.
No,
Wait,
Was that
which
the
one was
one?
that one?
That wasn't the one with
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, but not the one with, I keep getting that one confused with The Toy, which is the
No,
one with
not
Richard
the Richard
Pryor,
Pryor
Jackie
one.
Gleason.
Oh,
Not the
toys.
horribly
I've seen
dated
that.
racist movie.
Right.
I've seen that once.
I've seen
Yeah,
neither.
Toys is
I've never seen
very-
Toys.
it's very Sonnenfeld, basically trying to be Tim Burton, because Robin Williams plays like an eccentric toy maker who's kind of like a Willy Wonka character. So he gets to go into his flights of improv, which are aggravating. And then he's fighting for the company against his uncle, who's Michael Gambon, who wants to make military toys. It quickly becomes tiresome.
Well,
Like,
you just
some-
don't like Robin.
Is that,
No, I love Robin, but when he's not reined in and he just gets to do ad libs the whole time, it becomes annoying.
is it
He's
like
not
small,
playing a character.
is it like Small Soldiers, but with Robin Williams?
I'd like Small Soldiers better.
Oof.
Mm,
No, the set design is probably the best part of it. Like I said, he's trying to do like not Kubrick, Tim Burton kind of a set design. So there's a part where like he's in a toy house. There's a miniature toy house in there. It's almost like a Russian nesting doll. But aside from the set design, the movie's atrocious. It's hard to even sit through. I think it's like almost 2 hours.
Ooh. Yeah,
But
no.
it feels longer. Forever
This is-
Young came out, which is it's a weird directing effort from Steve Miner, who's usually known for doing horror movies. It's Mel Gibson. It's almost like Futurama. Mel Gibson is cryogenically frozen and then thawed years later. But it's a drama.
How far into the future?
A couple decades.
2015.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he becomes a white supremacist and votes
Meets
for
the Marlboro Man.
Becomes
He's like, wait a second, this is the perfect. I came back at the perfect time. My white supremacy ideals
Oh.
still hold relevance.
oh boy.
God, we made America great again. Perfect time to sleep.
America was great when I was a kid. Now it's not. It's speaking of very sentimental. This movie's like very saccharine. Kind of forgettable movie. I don't think has anybody seen it other than me.
No,
No, I don't think so.
no, I have not.
Okay.
I've seen a scene or two in
Yeah.
passing.
Like I said, it's a weird marriage of material with the director because Steve Miner he did Friday the 13th 2 and 3. He did Halloween H2O. He did Lake Placid, and this is just a weird movie in his filmography. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Wes Craven did Music of the Heart.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Yeah. So speaking of Jack Nicholson, Hoffa came out this month,
Hoffa.
which was written by another great playwright turned screenwriter, David Mamet, who we discussed with Glengarry Glen Ross not too long ago.
Last month,
This is
I think.
Tristan and I were talking on the phone about how sometimes when you write things elliptically, where you don't spell things out, which is what Mamet tends to do, he doesn't like to pander to the audience. So a biopic is not the place for that. He does it with a biopic where they halfway through they introduce Hoffa's wife, and I'm like, I didn't even know he's married. Like they jump around so much, and they want the audience to do all this legwork for it, where you just lose patience with the movie.
Yeah.
Not that I want every biopic to be like cradle to the grave, but you need to have a little bit of backstory for some of this stuff, especially something as complicated as the Teamster Union and all the battles with that. And I think Jack Nicholson's kind of chewing the scenery with this. It's not one of his better performances.
He's Hoffa, I assume.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's directed by Danny DeVito, who is co-starring in the movie.
Interesting. Who does he play?
He plays a fictionalized character who's supposed to be like his second-hand man.
Gotcha.
He's a Teamster driver who he recruits.
Gotcha. So he's sort of like what De Niro did in The Irishman, but
right,
less real. I was going to say I love Al Pacino's performance in The Irishman as Hoffa. So
yeah,
I'm wondering how they compare because I've never seen this one. But
yeah.
especially since you just mentioned The Irishman.
Well, speaking of Al Pacino, Son of a Woman came out this month.
That's why I said that.
The Oscar winner. Now, I think I'm not the only one who thinks Al Pacino's great performance, not his best performance though. I feel like they gave this as one of those legacy awards.
Yeah.
He's been so great for so long that let's just give him an award now. This is
Well,
one of his more demonstrative performances, very showy.
Didn't they nominate him for supporting actor for Dick Tracy 2 years earlier? They were trying to get him something.
Right, yeah.
So
I think it's a really good movie, except for that. Speaking of trial scenes, like there's a tribunal scene at the end that just stops the movie short so he can grandstand.
yeah, and just ruins Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, which is weird because everything up until that I really like. Like I like it. I like the whole relationship with him and actually Bradley Whitford happens to be in the movie. But Chris O'Donnell is not an actor who's very acclaimed. Probably because of all the disdain he gets from the Robin role, but he's actually really good here. bouncing off of or not Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino.
To answer your earlier question, by the way, Jack was nominated for A Few Good Men up against Al Pacino for Glengarry Glen Ross.
There you go.
So he had 2 nominations this year. They were trying to get him something.
Right.
And I would argue that his performance in Glengarry is better. But you also mentioned
I
when we
would
talked
too.
about it, Jack Lemmon should have gotten the Oscar, either for
Yeah.
supporting or best.
Yeah, we'll talk
So-
about that next week for the best of, but Jack Lemmon's amazing.
Yeah, all these nominations are good, but it's tough to figure out, especially when you are trying to give out like a legacy award. I think Scent of a Woman's good, but if you compare it to his other films,
Yeah. And also, I think this comes after a period. He didn't work much in the 80s.
Yeah.
He took off for a while and then came back for Sea of Love because he was doing a lot of bombs.
Yeah.
So actually, here's another. Speaking of Cradle to the Grave biopics, Chaplin came out, which I finally got to see.
also nominated for an Oscar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
best
for
actor.
Robert Downey,
Mhm.
I could see that, and he's a great mimic of Chaplin. I personally have never liked Chaplin. I can't watch his movies. I don't think they're funny. But actually I could see the criticisms of the movie. Yeah. It's it does like a wraparound story with Anthony Hopkins interviewing Chaplin later in his life about literally this movie almost goes into too much detail.
What did you do on Tuesday, December 6th?
And he's like, you're glossing over certain things. I'm like, I don't. It's funny. It chooses which information to give us and which information not to give us. And the stuff that it doesn't give us, I'm just like, I would rather you expanded on this than the other stuff you elaborated on. Like there's a scene where it's towards the beginning where he's doing a stage play and he upstages his mother. And then it cuts to years later where his mother has a mental illness. I'm like, what happened? There's no bridge. You know what I mean? I would like to have seen that.
I saw it like a decade ago, so I don't really remember some of that. I remember liking it, but maybe it's because I always liked biopics and I was trying to figure out the best way to present them.
You know
And
what
that
it
was
is?
still early in my watching of many biopics.
I think this kind of solidifies how I feel about Richard Attenborough as a director. He's kind of lumbering. He's not good with flow because he did the same thing with A Bridge Too Far.
This is fighting words.
He went too far with the bridge too
I
far.
saw Jimmy's face. He loves that.
No,
movie.
he's not wrong. It's a bit.
The movie just kind
It's
of
a lot
unwieldy.
to unpack in a movie. Like if A Bridge Too Far was a miniseries, like A Band of Brothers, you'd get to linger on all that all those characters and the story and the history.
They
Like,
introduced Robert Redford in the last
yeah,
20 minutes, and I'm just like, I would have loved to have seen the
I mean,
character.
that's also a big problem with a lot of war movies in that era. Anyways, they try to unpack a lot in like a couple hours.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why they were 3 hours. They're trying to do an epic.
Right.
And so if you do anything today that's even like gonna be more than 3 hours, that's why these movies are getting so long, because then a lot of producers are just saying, might as well make it a mini series. Like George and Tammy, did we need 8 episodes on Tammy Wynette?
Right.
Like I could have seen one movie about that. But they want to have all this richness developed.
It's funny that back in the 90s, they used to do the exact opposite.
Right.
They used to take movies that were Gettysburg, for example, was going to be a miniseries.
Right.
They cut it down a
Unite.
bit, put it theatrical.
Right. That's why Gods and Generals is 3.5 hours, because they thought they started to get back to where we are now,
Right.
but made the mistake of putting it in theaters.
Yep. One last movie I want to talk about, I haven't seen it, is George Miller did a medical drama called Lorenzo's Oil, which is it's Nick Nolte and Susan Sarandon's son is diagnosed with illness. I forget exactly what it is, but they're looking for like a miracle cure. I actually heard it's a really good movie, but it's
I've heard
again,
it's
like,
incredible.
yeah, I heard it's a great movie. I just it's interesting to me because it's an outlier in George Miller's career because he's mostly known for like Babe and the Mad Max movies.
Right.
And this isn't
Which-
a high octane movie or anything like that.
It could have been our movie we highlighted this month. Like we had a slew of things that we could have talked about. And Lorenzo's Oil was
knows?
probably the second choice
I was
after
gonna
this.
say, who knows? the two poster boys probably could have been a subject of this too.
Well, that's what I was going to lead into. Both of these, Jeff, were when Corey and I were discussing this. The first one I'm going to show was definitely his second choice,
Yeah.
but you'll see why by the end of it. And the other one was also sort of in the running. So, so
Okay.
Blue Man Group, the movie.
obviously, I've blurred out the top is floating face syndrome,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get the plot from this.
Someone
poster.
wearing a Kangol hat. Okay.
Oh, they are. Good job.
So
Of
course I would know.
So I'm not going to
Maybe
expect
it's
you
a
to know the
beret.
plot of this, but what would you call a movie that clearly is? It has what is there at the bottom of the
that.
poster?
Okay. It's black screen, 4 floating heads separated by red barbed wire, it looks like. And at the bottom of the screen, there's an old video camera, some weapons, a cross, and a holy grail, a crowbar. It looks like if Wes Craven had directed Indiana Jones. Like it's just a sort of heist movie where they try to, like, I don't know, a bunch of edgy teens in the 90s try to steal stuff from the British Museum.
It's
That-
funny now
or
that you
something.
said that. The color palette of this looks exactly like the People Under the Stairs poster,
That's
right.
funny.
which is a
Or
Wes
like
Craven
Scream, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, this could be a horror the way I smudged everything.
right. But yeah, or maybe
Now-
it's a
Has he given close enough of a plot description? Do you want to give him a little bit? Because what I actually want to see for you to try and garner some points
Maybe
is
it's
to
a
guess the catchphrase of the movie. So if you don't mind giving him a little plot, Corey,
a little bit of the plot.
without saying the name, obviously.
Sure. It's kind of like Treasure of the Sierra Madre if it happened in like an urban setting.
okay,
So
that
it's
means
kind of like a
nothing to me.
heist.
You
So
want
it's
to know
a-
more?
Urban heist.
Should I give him more?
Yeah, it's like an urban heist, though.
Okay,
Essentially, right?
urban heist.
That's enough, I guess.
Okay. Hang on. Same neighborhood. Different relics. I don't know.
There
Hang
goes
on.
the neighborhood.
Right, exactly. Old trash, new treasure.
Okay.
Or yeah, I don't know.
You want to give him a little
I'm
more
trying
plot?
to
Sure. Two firefighters save somebody from a burning building, and they find a map to a treasure in this abandoned building. And then little do they know that it's also a gang hangout.
Is this just a sequel to There Goes the Neighborhood?
I
Yeah,
wish.
it's not too far.
Definitely a better version of it. So yeah,
It is.
try one more catchphrase and then I'll show you what it actually is.
Okay. They found. Wait, hang on. I don't know.
You're on,
Basement.
you're
I'm
on the
out.
line a little bit. Like they showed up to the wrong place or something.
Yeah. This is right.
Oh, his catchphrase?
Just four. Just 4 good people in a bad situation.
Sort of.
They all came to the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay.
You were on the right track.
Yes.
So,
All right.
so-
So the catchphrase is they all came to the wrong place.
The title's very
wrong time.
generic. I will give you a try at the title because it's one word. It's not really. It's going to be too tough to figure out just from
Well, the barbed wire might be a bit.
The sliders.
Yeah.
They're going. Okay. So it's definitely a heist movie, some sort of historical thing. I feel like they're trying to go for regular, like, valuable shit like TVs and stuff, but then they accidentally find the Holy Grail.
No.
That's a different track. I
I
don't know.
feel
what
like it's
that's doing there.
I feel like it's a comedy.
Mm,
No.
No, not a comedy. Okay. I guess the red bloody looking barbed wire is probably not.
I was gonna say that
Comedy
might be
material.
kind of a clue to the title a bit. Like if you're trying to
Wrong
get rid
place,
of
the wrong
barbed
time.
wire, what are you into something? What are you trying to do?
Break in. Heist.
I knew this would be tough because it's so generic.
Breaking. Is it just called breaking and entering?
Now that is a movie from
That is a
06.
movie.
I know.
Well,
I'll just give it to you because this was always going to be tough. The real thing I want to
Well,
do is
hang on.
next.
Hang on. What the people?
Yeah, the four actors, because
Okay.
so it's called Trespass, which
Trespass.
is so tough. Like anything like this, it's like when we did
Yeah.
there's
Oscar,
3
you
other
never
movies
know
called
his
Trespass later on too.
name. Right. So what I want to say is 2 former actors we focused on are in this. One from this year and one from last year. And I'm gonna give you a guess. One of them you might not know in general. Might as well just give you him. So to give you the kind of idea of what kind of movie it is, I don't know if you know William Sadler at all.
We talked about it last year.
I figured.
I know we talked about it, but
The
I
guy
just
on the left, the first person, is the next one that's
Yeah.
going to show up. We
I
talked
want
about
to say
him this
that's Ethan Hawke. It's not Ethan Hawke. No.
We haven't
not
talked
bad.
about
Not
Ethan
bad
Hawke.
guess.
I don't remember. My short-term memory is shot after these things.
Yeah,
Let's say Val Kilmer. No, not Val Kilmer. Who's the other one? Who's the one that I keep mistaking for Val Kilmer? He played Santa Claus. Kurt Russell.
uh,
No,
that wouldn't
not
have
Kurt
been a
Russell.
bad
that
choice.
hair is kind of like Kurt
Yeah.
Russell's around that time, so that's not a bad guess.
Okay.
But yeah, you keep making like all these false moves, so I don't know if you really are going to get it.
Mm,
Mm,
Nope, it's not gonna.
No, well.
Oh, wait. Oh, God. I don't even remember. I don't remember that movie. What a false move.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I know. I don't. I
just handed it to you.
Just get. I know. You handed it to me and I dropped it.
Ah,
Bill Paxton.
Paxton.
Yep.
Paxton.
So this next person was from last year, so that's even further back in your memory. You're never going to get him. But do you wanna stab
Is
at
it a
someone from
dude?
91?
Is
Yeah,
it?
they're
talking
all
about the one-
guys.
Okay.
Is the next one the one between Sadler and Paxton?
No, the way to the right.
Oh, okay. You want to give him a,
The Kangol hat.
you want to give him a hint?
Tangle had Danny or not Danny DeVito, Joe Pesci.
No.
No.
I don't know what
He does wear a Kangol hat in real life, though. You're right.
Yeah.
Trying to guess from the hair, but anything
Well, it's not
early
hair, it's a
90s is
Kangol
not
hat.
good. No, not that. I'm talking about the other guy. Wait,
Oh.
so is Kangol hat next?
Kangol hat's next, and
Okay.
he's the one we've covered.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
Can I
Yeah.
tell him? Can I tell him the
No.
guy's other profession?
Sure.
He's a rap star.
Ice Cube.
Bing, bing, bing.
Hey, look at that.
There you go. You got one.
All
And
right.
so who would you put in a film with these 3 guys? The Trespass.
Yeah.
And this is why we wanted to cover
Okay.
this film, possibly.
Schwarzenegger?
Mm,
No.
not with a hair like that.
No. Am I on the right track though? Like action star? No. Okay, so you know what? These 3 are all brawn, so we need a brains of the operation here. But it's too early for like Stephen Wright. I don't know.
All right.
It just looks like Ghostface to me. Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Yup.
Oh, what?
The same
What?
movie. How
Right.
great would that have been? to talk
I
about,
didn't think that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why this might have been a perfect hidden gem.
You can't have
Because-
Ice-T without putting Ice Cube in it.
So that would have been fun to talk about. But
Yeah.
we went
actually-
with Distinguished
it's a good
Gentleman
movie.
because we weren't sure how often we would get to a chance to talk about Eddie throughout the 90s. And we realized that was the
More interesting.
most hidden gem of his movies.
I'm
Did you
sorry.
know-
Does that say it was written by
I was just about to bring that up.
Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
This was a spec script that they had before Back to the Future. That once they got big, they produced later on.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
A lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Real random group of people.
Fun movie.
Yeah,
And
It's a
Walter
real
Hill directed it.
fucking rogues gallery there.
Mm,
So I still want to see it. You like
Yeah,
it?
no,
Corey?
definitely.
No, it's really good.
Cool. So this next one is also someone we had in the past.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a guy in some sort of fancy business suit holding a cloud over his hand with a lightning bolt striking whatever life is being given in his head. And in the background, it looks like Mount Fuji or Mount some sort of mountain or volcano
Kilimanjaro.
with searchlights in front of it.
What's under the mountain?
Under the mountain is like a city with searchlights. Or no?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
it's a tent.
There
It's
we
a
go.
circus
There
tent.
you go.
Okay.
Look closer.
Okay. Freak show. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't normally look like this. I made his face weird.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm throwing out a title.
You made
It's
his
not
face
Yeah.
terrifying.
Christmas
Uh-huh.
1992.
Why do you keep on doing this?
Because it's so
I'm-
much fun to me.
Like
gonna
it's
have-
like you're a psychopath.
I'm gonna have nightmares
I
because
do this at like 1 in
you
the morning.
basically yeah, because the way that Tristan blurred the face, it looks like if Deadpool's mask was made of skin.
Oh
Like,
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's awful.
Yes, it's great.
But it
And,
works.
like, and his
It
face-
obscures
like,
who it
and
was.
his mask was made of skin and it was ginger skin too.
Is this the Twilight Zone? No.
No.
It's not the
What if he was
Twilight
just
Zone
like,
movie.
yeah, I just took the irises out. This is how
Do you know who it is, Jimmy?
Nah, I can't tell.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm trying to
Also, someone we covered last year in '91,
yeah.
like focused on,
Yeah.
which is why we
Trying to
didn't choose
place it.
it because we've already covered a film of his. So
Yeah.
this film isn't as good, but it's good.
I'm really bad with guessing the actors' faces now. Especially when they look like this.
yeah,
Um
this hair isn't
Ah.
exactly like it always is.
yeah.
I think it's
No, the hair-
dyed.
I'll say it's Dana Carvey.
Oh man.
We covered Dana Carvey
I don't know.
Did we talk about? We might have talked about Wayne's World.
as a focus, like
Oh
one of
yeah,
the
we
main
didn't focus.
topics.
on it. It wasn't a movie. we
Yeah.
talked about.
It's too wouldn't be Anthony Michael Hall.
That's a good guess based on the face shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
You want one more try and then I'll give it to you. Who it is?
Well, hang on. What's gonna come up first? The title, the
face.
catchphrase, or the face? Okay.
You want,
Face.
You want me to give him a hint?
I'm gonna fine. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
I'm trying to think. He does magic. He's a comedian.
Is
who
it
also
David
does-
Copperfield?
He's a comedian that also does magic.
That's
I don't know if that's
Like the actor or the character in the movie?
no, the actor.
Okay. Amazing Jonathan. I don't know. No, wait. No, hang on.
It was part of his acting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. I
I'm
feel
really,
like you let him off path.
I'm really
right?
tanking
Yeah,
it
I didn't
today.
know he ever did magic.
I'm really
He did
tanking
a
it today.
stage act.
All right.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Of course.
All that magic tricks he does.
Yes.
Fuck you. You didn't know that?
I've never seen him do magic.
I've heard
He's
him
a
talk about
ukulele
magic.
You could have
player.
just said, you
I
could have
should've-
just
He
said,
could've said he plays the banjo. That
you could have just said musician. Yeah, banjo would have gotten it. But yeah, Steve Martin. Okay. Steve Martin with a cloud with a lightning bolt in his hand.
So yeah,
He's
now
going to give life. Is it called
And
the
he-
Flea Circus?
that's a
That'd be
good. That's a
cool.
good. Yeah. Well,
just
why don't you do the traditional poster boy and try to guess what this is about and what the title
Okay.
might be? Because the title's actually not just like trespass.
Traditional.
Yeah, the title you
So
might be
it's-
able to
it's
guess.
about- It's about a guy who figures out that he has some sort of omnipotent godlike powers and uses them to create
Yeah.
freaks in a traveling roadshow in a just a circus of his own design.
This is Steve
and this
Martin's
is how
Ghost
he-
Mighty.
This is
Is it
right.
actually with a plot? Okay, I
No.
don't know the plot, so
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Steve Martin creates life and takes it on the road to make money. That's my guess.
is it more similar to Distinguished Gentleman than you would think? You know what I mean?
Like grounded.
No,
Is it a political?
no, I'm trying to hint at something else. Like
Is
he
he
starts.
a con man?
That's what I'm trying to hint
He
at.
captures lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Lightning in a bottle.
He's a con man though.
He's a con man. Does he play like a Tesla knockoff?
I thought he was gonna get it.
Yeah. Think about
Uh,
what's behind him.
I was gonna say the tent's a big hint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tent. It's
You got the idea that he's going on the road.
He's a ringmaster. He's on a circus store, freak show.
Oh, is
Pop up.
he trying to be a Rain Man and he's tricking Native
Rain Man?
Americans because he's a racist white man?
Oh my god.
Is that what's going on?
Storm
Storm of the century.
of the century.
Why don't I give you the
Whole world in his hands.
tagline?
Sure. Are you ready for a miracle?
Yeah.
Miracle Man.
Is it just Rain Man
No.
and like
Wait. See, like, so is he like a con man, evangelist, pastor type?
You got it.
Conmangelist, if you will.
What do those people ask you to do?
Healer. The healer. Healing.
It's a phrase.
You take a
Cleanse. Vow.
If you're not sure about something, they want you to.
Pray. But
No,
with
it's
an
hard-
E.
It's hard to guess if you don't know the
Yeah,
phrase.
I
It's a
genuinely
three-word-
don't know.
It's a 3-word phrase,
Is it like a phrase that would be used in church?
or
Kinda.
outside of church even.
Kinda.
Bless me, Father. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I need to think of that.
Jeff's having a rough time. I'm just
I am. This is
give you.
having an off day here.
Leap
Leap
of
of
faith.
faith.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Good job.
Gotcha. Ah,
Stop that.
Not back to this.
Stop blotting out his eyes. It's so creepy.
It's so much
leap
fun
of
though.
faith.
Gotta say that's a terrible poster for the movie though.
I love this
They're just
poster.
selling what it is.
This would have been better.
Yeah, but it's,
All right.
I do want to see that though. So what
Good
was it
movie.
about?
okay. So he's a evangelist who does church revivals in tents, and his tour bus gets stuck in a small town. Deborah Winger is the person, the person that goes onto the database and feeds the televangelists into a mic, like a headset, information about the people when they're doing the faith healing.
Oh,
Gotcha.
is that a thing?
Yeah, because obviously these people don't know they're not real clairvoyants.
Okay.
So they have somebody with an earpiece giving them all the information. They break down a small town, and and it's a town that's had a drought for a while.
Okay.
So he's trying to conjure back up the rain. So that's why
Okay.
storm clouds there.
Okay.
makes sense.
Gotcha. That's cool.
It's a comedy drama. Actually, Liam Neeson's in it.
Oh,
Early role.
that's pretty cool.
Steve Martin and Liam Neeson. My God.
Yeah.
What a bounty.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought
Felt
that
like
was
the
a
right
pun.
thing to say.
I thought that was a pun.
Kind of is, I guess.
Mm.
That was a rough one, Jeff. I'll let you know.
No,
how
it's okay. I mean,
next
it's
episode.
good because that's like, I don't know. I
was
didn't
hoping-
get it.
I was hoping those would be fun.
Your whole job is to stump me,
Yeah.
and I'm just supposed to make dumb descriptions.
Yeah. Usually you come
make-
up with really good alternate plots, though.
Yeah.
But these were tough posters. Trespass gave you nothing. So it really was just a test on if you know people in the 90s.
That cross really,
Which I don't. I need
No.
to brush up on my.
I didn't think about
90s
the
actors.
chalice throwing you off. I didn't see the cross until this morning.
made it look way more religious than the movie.
Yeah. That's just jewelry, probably, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that is the thing they steal, that's like buried in one of the floorboards, but
Okay. I mean, people steal from churches coffers all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They've done it for centuries.
exactly.
Grave
So
robbers.
speaking of stealing, Eddie stole our hearts with this film. What has he stolen your heart over other than this? Or is this the film you find the most pleasurable? I don't know. I don't know.
Pluto
what I would call it.
Nash.
That's
Pluto
your
Nash.
that's your
No,
pick.
Get the
no,
fuck
no,
out
no.
of here. We're not picking that.
We're picking
I
I'm
Eddie
won't
kidding.
allow
Murphy.
him to
kidding.
pick that.
I'm
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah, this is our best chance to cover Eddie Murphy for picks of the month. So
I was gonna say he's not picking.
Yeah.
I won't.
I have a couple of
Yeah.
choices. So
I don't
I'll
have-
go off
like
with
you're not
that.
allowed to pick that.
Can I guess what Tristan's gonna be?
Why don't you wait until the other guys have chosen? Because you always choose before I even choose.
I can
Yeah.
guess. I guess what the.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is.
Give me a
Of the things I've seen, this one's probably the best performance I've seen.
Okay.
But as far as like if we're talking favorite as in nostalgia, Nutty Professor.
Okay.
Okay.
I will admit.
I hate to be cliche. I don't know. I don't think anybody else is gonna pick this, but withstanding his comedy, his stand-up specials, I'd probably go 48 hours.
Okay.
It was his first movie. He makes a huge impression. Him and Nick Nolte have amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's one of the better examples of the buddy action comedy.
I need to see that. That's one of the few I haven't seen. So maybe I'll save that for last so I go out on a high.
There you
Because I don't want to go out with like Meet Dave.
go. Imagine that.
Yeah. I hear that what is it? Bad words. Too many
1,000 words.
1,000 words isn't horrible. And Mr. Church is
You're
okay.
taking away his verbal ability. That's like
Oh.
his fuel, man.
Yeah, that's the opposite of
Yeah, you don't want that.
I'm dreading Norbit.
That's like if Jim Carrey was in a movie where he had multiple sclerosis and in a wheelchair, and you're like, he's the rubber man. That's
Yeah.
what makes him fun.
Yeah.
You have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say like Coming to America is probably like my favorite and the best. Like
Oh,
because
sweet.
like going through the list, like it's like I mean, I don't like most of his movies.
Really?
Not that I hate them.
Alright.
It's just like they're not ones that like that like really stood out to me growing up. So like Coming to America is probably the best, and like all the rest, like I've either never seen them, which apparently is a lot. I haven't seen a lot of his movies, and the ones like The Nutty Professor, I like it, but like it's like if I'm gonna
Yeah.
compare that to Coming to America, I'm gonna go with Coming to America.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have to educate you on Eddie.
Yeah, but then there's like Mulan, like he
education,
does
if you will.
the voice for Mushu and Mulan. It's like
I think
Yeah.
that's
voice
Tristan's
acting.
choice.
Is that your
Yeah.
guess for my movie?
I think so.
That'd be fourth.
It'd either be that or
Yeah.
Shrek.
Nope. That'd be fifth.
Wow.
Daddy Daycare? No.
You don't like that shit.
No one said Beverly Hills Cop, which is the standard, I think. That's not what
Osmosis
people
Jones.
I didn't know you even saw it.
Oh, I love that movie. I've seen it a bunch.
Okay.
Seen it like 5-6 times.
Great movie.
That is probably my second choice, though. I'm actually going to go with a movie that came out in 1999 that we could cover.
Oh, both of you.
Nope. His other film, Life. Anyway, Life stars
Wow.
Eddie and Martin Lawrence in a.
He's wearing age makeup, so he's wearing makeup again.
He does do it, yeah. But I think it works here. Have you guys seen it? I know Corey has, because we talked about it when we first met, actually.
Which one?
Life. He ends up in prison with Martin Lawrence. It starts out where he's a bootlegger, sort of. He's like in a nightclub, and they get in trouble for a crime they didn't actually commit.
I've seen
And they're
parts
put
of
in-
that.
I
haven't
feel
seen
like
the
I
whole
watched.
thing.
Yeah, I feel like I watched parts of that with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely saw it with my mom the first time. Maybe I showed you again because I've seen
Yeah.
it twice. But he ends up in a jail in the South. It's in Mississippi. So yeah, they meet in a club in 32.
Yeah, and
they're
he's
not,
supposed to be
like,
from he's from a
friends.
northern city too. So
Right.
like
And they
Wow,
both
you
sort
know
of
a
get
lot
caught
of
up in
accents.
this thing, and they get put in jail. And it's kind of like Cool Hand Luke, where they're definitely stuck for life and keep trying to get out. And you meet all the other people in the penitentiary. Bernie Mac is a standout there. It was the first thing I'd really seen him in.
The drama in it works too.
It balances both comedy and drama, and it does not go the way you think it will. And
Ned
it's-
Beatty's great.
Ned Beatty's fantastic. Yeah. There's a lot of good aspects of it that aren't just Eddie, but that's probably why it's my favorite of his films.
Directed by the late Ted Demme.
Yep. So yeah, we got Coming to America, 48 Hours, Nutty Professor, and Life. That's a good bunch of films. So
okay.
cool. Yeah.
Masterpiece in 2000s.
It's a little tight for us to come up on, but just next week we're going to be recording it and try to push it out right at the last day of the year. We're going to have our best of 92, actually within the year. So Look forward to that. We'll all be live again. You'll get to see Jimmy in my new apartment.
Yuck.
And then we'll be giving you, like we've done before, we compile our top 5 and I'll figure out points wise who the best of the year are. We'll talk about Oscars and who we thought should have gotten them, maybe ones that weren't even nominated. We'll go down memory lane to see which ones were our favorites from the films we focused on. So then we'll look forward to 1993, which is when we all started really going to the theater.
Yeah.
Because by then Jeff's 5, and all of us are subsequently older. So
Not 5.
yeah, you're 8 by then. You're getting too old for movies.
That's when he starts developing his cynicism and criticism.
Yeah, came from his.
Who's the DP in this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that didactic music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a fun year. Let's see you soon.
Wow.